1002, 1003, 1004. Oh, hey guys, didn't see you guys there. What I'm gonna tell you all about today is how the EPA is suing EZLYNK for tuning vehicles just like this 2017 F-250. The EPA, they're mad. They're real mad, boy. They're mad at the N-Gage. They're already suing the N-Gage. They started suing them a couple weeks ago, and now they're suing EZLYNK. So I'm gonna give you guys all the details about that. If you guys have a tuned truck, whether it's a Cummins, Duramax, Power Stroke, this is something that you're gonna want to hear, especially if you want to do some weight reduction, make it a free-flowing exhaust or anything like that. I would never do that to any of my trucks or any of my vehicles, but I know that there's people that like to do that. So I'm gonna tell y'all all about that. So once again, welcome back to the Sean O'Connell YouTube channel. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button so you guys can see more content on the F-250. Got an LS Swap Fox body, Polaris Sportsman 850, do a lot of fun stuff with all those things, right? Some tech tips and some other stuff too, but we'll get into the real story, all right? In case anybody's been living under a rock, this is EZLYNK. What this allows you to do is plug into the OBD2 port on your newer truck, newer car, whatever you have, and allows you to plug this in, and basically what this does is it connects to the ECU. Think about the vehicle's brain, it tells everything what to do, and it allows you to manipulate stuff once you're plugged in there, right? And it allows you to make changes and stuff like that. But this by itself does not do anything with the emissions. You have to have somebody who is smart enough and understands the ECU to use this to get into the ECU and make changes within the ECU, right? They'll be for a number of things, you know. They can increase, you know, the boost pressure. They can make the turbo do different things. You can even tune a truck with this with emission stuff on. You don't have to have your emission stuff removed. What this also allows you to do is calculate for tire size changes. So like me, I'm running a 35-inch tire on this. This allows me to make a change in my ECU, in the brain of the truck, that says, hey, these tires are 35 inches tall, so adjust the speedometer accordingly, right? So what happens though is you have some people, you know, different tuners that offer tuning using a device like this to get into the ECU and make changes and stuff like that. So it'll allow people to get rid of their emissions and all that crap, right? If they want to. Now, this EZLYNK, they are being sued by the EPA, all right? EZLYNK is not a US company. It's actually headquartered out of the Cayman Islands. So probably a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo there, but who knows what's really going to happen with the company, all right? So similarly to the EZLYNK, the N-Gage, which is, I'll put a picture of what the N-Gage looks like because I don't have one of those. It's made by a company called SCT. You can also get HP Tuners N-Gage, a couple different ones, right? Well, you used to be able to, but the EPA sued N-Gage a couple weeks ago. All this stuff started. And basically what they're suing for is they're calling the N-Gage and the EZLYNK emissions tamper devices. Now it's advertised in a lot of news sources that you can just plug this in and push a button and you don't have any emissions anymore. Well, realistically it's a lot more difficult than that, right? You got to go through a tuner. Tuner's got to trust you, know what mods you have, bunch of freaking stuff, right? A bunch of stuff that I don't know anything about because I've never done it, because I would never break the law, because the EPA and the air quality is very important to me, right? But that's what they're doing, all right? So a company that I support a lot, Lund Racing, they've done some work on my 2015 Mustang that I used to have. It was a Pro Charge, really fast car, really fun car, but they did some tuning for me on that, and I used the SCT X2 or X3. It was X3, I think it was, and that allowed them to tune the vehicle for me. So the N-Gage is similar type deal, same as the EZLYNK, right? So big thing, what this means for you guys. If you guys are interested in tuning your vehicle with an EZLYNK, you need to buy one today or tomorrow, because these things there's a stop sale on them. So you'll have vendors that have maybe 20 of these on their shelves or 100 of these on their shelves, and they'll be able to sell what they got because they're a vendor. They're not the company itself. The company itself can't sell to the vendors anymore. So the vendors can sell what they have, but they're not going to be able to sell anything else. So if you want to get your truck tuned, whether you do emissions on or emissions off tuning, I suggest you buy one of these tonight, right? Because they're going to be going pretty quick. All right, so this one is the EZLYNK Auto Agent 2. This is the best one, the newest one. It allows you to use your phone. You can monitor all your gauges and stuff like that on your phone. You can change between your tunes on your phone and stuff like that. So I would buy one of these because I think this is probably the best product that's out there. And with them not selling this, it's going to take a little bit of time before another company creates something like this. So what you're seeing right now is there's a new presidential administration, right, which is very friendly with the EPA, which is another federal organization. They are very friendly. They got the Clean Air Act, the Green New Deal. These things, these new laws that are enacted. They are bad for the performance industry unless you have like an electric vehicle or something like that. They are very bad for the diesel industry and the performance car industry. So if you drive like a newer Camaro, new Challenger, new Charger, new Mustang, a lot of those guys are tuned on N gauges, right? The N gauge is an awesome product, but you can't buy them anymore. Nobody's selling them, and they're pretty much out of them. Vendors have pretty much sold out, so they're impossible to get. Same thing is going to happen to this EZLYNK, right? So if you want to tune your, this is good for tuning the trucks and stuff like that. If you got a Cummins, a Duramax, Power Stroke, I would get one of these. A newer truck, not one of those really old trucks. You got a really old thing, you might have something like a Bully Dog Programmer or a EFI Live or something like that. A lot of those things went through similar processes where the EPA kind of sued them, and companies knew that there was still money out there to make, so they started creating other things. And what we're going to see is some of the best things going away right now. So if you don't have one, I would pick one up. As far as what company you should get tuned through, man, I don't want to put anybody out there like that. I would just go with a tune that is proven, that you've seen other people use on the forums and the groups and things like that. Just something that's proven, right? You don't want to get some junk and end up blowing your truck up, right? Or bricking your ECU or doing anything weird like that. So basically doing some reading, and EZLYNK, even though it's out of the Cayman Islands, some of the founders or owners of the company are actually 2 US based guys, and one of the reasons that they're being sued is for failing. Here, I'll just read exactly what it says. Being sued by the EPA for refusal to provide EPA with basic information about manufacture, sale, and use of EZLYNK system. So they're looking to see who they're selling this thing to so they could get the tuners, because the tuners are going to be the ones that are easiest to get, because they're tuning, you know, hundreds of trucks a year, and they're going to slap those guys with the big fines. $300,000, $400,000 fines, $1 million fines. You guys seen what they did to Diesel Brothers. You know, they had a show on the Discovery Channel, and it's really sad. If you guys are on the EZLYNK forum, what I would do if I were you is I would go on there. I'd probably deactivate your account, delete it, do something like that. I wouldn't post on there anymore. If you're on the forum, I'd probably keep your mouth shut. I wouldn't talk about who's tuning what and who's doing this and that, because what you guys are going to start to see is different tuning companies are going to stop selling tunes, and they're not going to want to work with people unless it's people that they know, because they don't want to get in trouble. It's going to cost them a lot of money. There are a couple of companies that are not based in the United States, which the EPA might have a harder time shutting down. But we're not going to talk about that because I don't want to put anybody on blast. Just know that tuning, I'm telling you, it's not going away. People are just going to become outlaws. People are going to do whatever they want to do. The emission stuff on these vehicles, it sucks. It's expensive. That thing is like $10,000 to replace when it breaks. So when it breaks, I don't have $10,000 to go to the Ford dealer and say, hey, put this thing that makes the air a little bit cleaner on my truck. No, I'm gonna, you know, somebody's gonna take it and they're gonna cut it off and they're gonna tune their truck. And honestly, those things are bad for the truck, because what it does is the truck basically dumps urethra or DPF, diesel particulate, DEF fluid, diesel exhaust fluid, into the DPF, the diesel particulate filter. It dumps it into there, and then once it gets crusted up in there, the truck has to run at an extremely high temperature to basically burn off the urethra that makes the exhaust a little bit more friendly. What they put these things on here for is they don't want to see the black smoke on the truck. People complain to the EPA. You know, you want to complain about something, talk about all the helicopters flying in the sky, talk about all the planes flying in the sky that literally just dump fuel all over the place and they don't have any emissions on them. Talk about the military vehicles. Look at the JLTV, look at the MATV, look at the MRAP. None of these things have emissions on them. They are straight pipe, because the emission stuff is, one, it chokes the motor down and makes it can't run at its full potential. Where in the military, when we're overseas and we're doing stuff, we don't want to have, oh, sorry, your particulate filter is full, you have to regen. No, we're just going to keep going, right? So they don't have any emission stuff on these military vehicles, which Gale Banks helped tune some of these vehicles. A lot of these vehicles I've read. Yeah, Gale Banks, one of the guys who owns Banks, which these guys were like deleting trucks of emission stuff before the internet. He was even freaking talking about it. They literally tune and design and develop the JLTV, the joint whatever vehicle. It's loud as hell. I think they're great. I think they're cool. But he's the one who's yapping on the forums about you don't have to delete the truck to make it fast, when here he is, his government contract that he has probably paid him billions of dollars or something crazy like that to manufacture these vehicles, right? It's crazy. You know, the government can do whatever they want to do, but these tuning companies, which are owned by real people, they can't play because they didn't go through the government contracting, and they're doing it on personal people's stuff. But the military and the federal government can do whatever they want. Look at these SWAT vehicles that these police departments have and these sheriff's offices have. They're old military vehicles. They don't have any of the emission stuff on them as well. They don't have EGR exhaust. They don't have the EGR dumping the exhaust back into the vehicle. They don't have mufflers. They don't have catalytic converters. They don't have diesel particulate filters. They don't have all that crap. So if the federal government doesn't have to play by the rules, why does Joe Blow have to play by all the rules? It's crazy. It's hypocrisy. But hopefully somebody makes a product very similar to EZLYNK. There's a lot of smart people out there. Hopefully they keep it up. Hopefully the EPA doesn't crack down on the auto vehicle manufacturers. You have stuff like the L5P Chevy, Silverado, 2500s, 3500s, which it took them over a year to crack that ECU using software and programs like the EZLYNK or HP tuners and stuff like that to basically crack that ECU so they could go in and tune it. And it's up to you. If you delete the emission stuff, you don't have to do that. You can just tune the vehicle and not have the emission stuff, or have it. It's up to you, right? Just let your tuner know what you want. But hopefully we see some light at the end of the next 4 years, and hopefully we'll start to see the EPA chilling out. But for the next 4 years, gents, just be ready, be a little hush-hush on the forums, because companies are going to start going down. It's going to be sad. This is people's livelihood. This is how they put food on their table, and this is something that a lot of people like to do and keeps their truck running. People run 300, 400,000 miles on these things without the emission stuff. So we'll see what happens. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I've got a bunch of other videos on my F-250 Power Stroke that you guys can check out if you want to see. But give you guys a quick little walk around. Add some more time to the video. 22x14 Archon Caesars. One of my buddies that I met in Daytona actually designed those wheels, so I like to support people I know. It's got a lot of fun stuff, a lot of lightweight exhausts and stuff like that done to it. Outlaw LEDs did all the custom paint on it, so see that. Custom built headlights, all that stuff. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. See you guys next time.